Hey everybody, my name is Dameco and I am an ex-masturbator.
I just wanna tell the truth, I just wanna tell the truth, I just wanna tell the truth, I just wanna tell the truth.
When I initially decided to write my blog on MySpace, I had no idea that God was going to use it in the way that He has. Since I've posted it, people have been writing in, telling me, being encouraged that God can even deliver from such a thing. A lot of people have been writing in, wanting to either post my testimony somewhere or use it for something. Since then, I've gotten 2 opportunities to share my testimony on the radio, and I'm going to share with you. About when I was 4 years old, I had a little friend, and we would play together as kids would do. We'd play together. And one particular day, we started doing very grown-up sexual acts with one another. I believe something may have happened to my friend because kids of that age generally don't know how to do those kind of things. From that time on, I definitely had an appetite for lust, for sin. Much like if you have, a piece of chocolate candy and you never gave a kid a piece of chocolate candy, but the minute you introduce it into their system, they're gonna have a craving for it. Even if it was there already, it definitely surfaces once you kind of get them that sugar in their system. And that's definitely what it was like for me. I didn't just automatically bam, start masturbating one day. It went from after that encounter with my friend to I would literally hump floors to literally after that I would just get ideas of either how to do it more or how to do it quote unquote better to try to get the same gratification from it. And eventually just humping floors wasn't enough. And what that gradually did turn into was just masturbation. And then gradually that turned to using objects or doing anything that I could to get the same effect. It just started with thoughts. Oh, try this, try that, and I would do it. And I would just listen to the thoughts that I had on the matter. It got so bad that at one point I would, in order to masturbate, I definitely got into a lot of pornography. There is no way you can masturbate thinking about tacos. Like, you have to think about very pornographic things. So masturbation and pornography, they definitely go hand in hand. So as I became addicted to masturbation, I also became addicted to pornography as well. And it got so bad that one particular time, I was masturbating, and I would masturbate to such a degree and at a frequency over and over again, trying to get the same high, that I messed around and I actually tore tissue on my clitoris. And the moment I did that, I was hit with so much guilt and depression because I could not believe I had done that to myself. And what makes it even worse, like I started thinking, like, what am I gonna do if anybody ever finds out what I did? And I thought that I had totally mutilated myself. But what makes it so bad is that even after I had injured my genitalia, I would masturbate even through the pain. So how that even managed to heal, like, I mean, really, I don't even know. I went into depression shortly after that. It was such a shame to me because I didn't want to tell anybody about it. And so I lived with the shame of that. I lived with the shame of possibly having mutilated myself as I had thought at the time for so many years. And this probably happened to me around the time I was in middle school up until high school. And I even carried this into my freshman year of college. Now, during my freshman year of college, I had gotten involved with this organization called Campus Crusade for Christ. I went to a summer project in 2005 to Chicago. While I was there was a woman, her name was Kate Scarridge, and honestly, like, I wish I could find this woman today and just let her know how much her testimony impacted me, because while I was there, that was like the first time I ever heard somebody openly confess that they had been delivered from masturbation. And that hit me so hard because I had done it for so many years. I literally thought I was almost like the only person in the world that did it. And I didn't know you could even be free from it. After that, like, I could just feel God just like encouraging me to just tell somebody, just to bring it into the light, because I had hidden it so long for so many years. And at the same time, while I had God pulling me one way saying, look, you need to break open, you need to bring this to the light, I also had fear that would grip me and pull me, saying, no, don't tell anybody. And that was because, like, fear would tell me, like, if you tell anybody, like, what you've done, nobody will ever love you. And I really, really have believed if I ever told anybody what I had done, that nobody would. And I remember during that week, it was almost like my mind was like, almost had like a mind movie. And in that, I could see almost every sexually immoral, shameful thing I'd ever done in my whole life. And so with those thoughts coming and just guilt and just condemnation coming, like, I was just so scared to open up my mouth. It was so bad because during this time, like, I was even too scared to even write down masturbation in my journal, even when I would try to talk to God about it, because I was so afraid somebody would see it. And I would think, well, if I do, what are they going to think about me? And finally, I was able to get courage to just confess it when I heard a sermon that had encouraged me to do so. But telling somebody was just half the battle. It wasn't even really the whole fight. It was when I genuinely tried to stop. And I remember in this period of time when I genuinely tried to stop, I had never been so tempted just to masturbate in my whole entire life. I couldn't get through showers. I couldn't, it didn't even matter if I could be reading the Bible. It just had to be anything. Any thought that I had that was pornographic, that would spark anything at all, like, I was on it. I was flamed. And sometimes I would do it thinking, if I don't masturbate, this feeling won't go away. So I didn't really think necessarily that I had a choice or an option. I would just do it because I thought I had to. When I left that summer project and I went to college, I ended up confessing to 2 godly women, you know, for accountability partners. But to tell you the truth, like, struggling with sin, like whether it be sexual sin or not, like, you need more than accountability partners. You really need to resolve, because like just having somebody to hold you accountable, they can't change your heart, like they can't change your mind on an issue. Like, you really have to make that choice within your own heart. It got to a point where I was able to stop masturbating for 2 months, but that came at me. Like, when I got tempted, I would literally leave from my dorm room and go to like the library. I'd go to a public area, because in all honesty, like, I knew myself. Like, if I was alone, I would do it. It didn't matter if I was in my own room. It didn't matter if I was in another place. Like, if I was tempted to masturbate, I'd masturbate there, whenever, wherever. It didn't really matter. You know, like, so I knew I couldn't be alone in those situations, so I had to do what I could to actually run, if that's what it took. There was a point, you know, again, I had like about 2 months of victory. Then I ended up backsliding because I had unforgiveness towards somebody, because I never really thought about the reasons why I did masturbate. One reason why I masturbated was because it gave me comfort or relief, like much like people run to comfort food. Sometimes I masturbated just because I was bored or wanted something to do. Sometimes I masturbated like people that watch pop in a movie, play video games, or just whatever, just to get their mind off it for the moment. And sometimes I did like people that slit their wrists or cut themselves, because I just had a disgust for life, out of the world, whatever it was. And the thing about it was, it's almost like those temptations I'd have, like, it's like I'd flirt with them, you know what I mean? And I'd go to bed with them, so to speak. But as soon as I did, like, it would just bring instant condemnation. Like, it would give you maybe like some form of joy, whatever you can call it, fulfillment, just for like a few seconds, just for a few minutes, and then I would be down like in depression almost for hours. So really, like, the consequences outweighed whatever I thought I was getting. Honestly, I really wasn't getting anything from it. And after having a few minutes of victory, I ended up, when I fell back into it, then those thoughts came like, see, you're never going to be the same. You're just going to die like this. And because this had lasted for a period of time, I genuinely started believing that, and I started losing hope. In about 2006, I ran into a ministry out in Riverside at the time that talked about repentance and talked about being free from sin. I had grown up in the church. I knew like church lingo. I was somewhat spiritual, but to tell you the truth, I had never heard of this before. I never heard about repenting. I never heard about living holy, or even that you could. And at one particular junction, I remember there was like that same fear would try to tell me, see, you're gonna do it again, and when you do, it's gonna be worse. Because there's this part in the Bible that talks about basically like if say if a person has a demon driven out of them, you know, but they go back into their own sin, like they'll come back 7 times stronger, so the person will be worse off than what they were before. Because I had a pattern of falling, I thought that's what was gonna happen. And as this fear was gonna set in, as all these thoughts of all these things that were cornering me, making me think that, man, like maybe I will fall. I remember hearing God just come through like clear as day, just telling me like, you don't have to do it anymore. And as stupid as that might sound, like that never occurred to me my whole life. Like I did not know I had a choice.